Here is the answer for day 1. We're given that the sine of some angle t is equal to 1/3. We want to find the value of the sine of a negative t angle. Let's make a unit circle picture. And on that circle, find some random angle that is t radians. So one side going out to the right, and then for my example, I'm going to draw the other ray in quadrant 1, maybe coming up like this and touching at this dot. This is going to be my angle that's t radians. Now, when we're told that the sine is 1/3, remember what that's telling us. It's telling us the y coordinate of that dot right there. So some value for x, comma, and then the y coordinate is 1/3. Now, sine of negative t, what would that angle look like? That would be to go an equal amount of radians, but in the negative direction. So the ray would come down like this, ending at this dot here. Well, what do we know about the coordinates of this dot? It has the same x coordinate as this dot because they line up right above each other, and its y value would be negative 1/3. We're asked, what is the sine of a negative t angle? It would be negative 1/3 because the sine value is the y coordinate of the ordered pair on the unit circle. Once we know this answer, then we can get cosecant, because cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So the reciprocal of negative 1/3 is negative 3. Next, if we're given that the cosine of a t radian angle is 4/5, can we find this? Well, let's make a unit circle sketch to visualize what's going on. Let's draw some angle to be our angle t. Pointing up in this direction, the dot ends here, and if the cosine value is 4/5, then that means that the x coordinate of that dot is 4/5. We don't know what the y value is, but we know its x coordinate is 4/5. Now, what would be pi minus t? What would that look like? Pi is halfway around the circle right here, and subtracting t radians would mean to back up that amount. So this angle here is the pi minus t. Well, what do we know about this dot compared to this dot in red? Its x coordinate is negative 4/5. And then its y value is the same as the y value on the red dot. These are at the same height on the paper. We're asked for the cosine of that angle. Cosine is the x coordinate of the dot on the unit circle. That's negative 4/5. What about cosine of t plus pi? Well, in our drawing, if the t angle was this much, what would t plus 5 look like? It would be that much plus an extra halfway around the circle. The ray would go out like this, and the dot on the circle would be right here. Do we know anything about the coordinates of this green dot? Well, it lines up vertically with that blue dot that had an x coordinate of negative 4/5. And its y value would be the negative of whatever that number is there. We don't know what that is. But what are we asked? We're asked for a cosine. Cosine is the x coordinate of the dot on the unit circle. And so we can figure out that's negative 4/5. The main idea of these questions is that when you know a trig value for a certain angle, you can find out trig values for other angles on the unit circle, and often without needing a calculator, because we can make use of symmetry of the dots to know about the x and y coordinates for those dots.